Howdy guys, if you have recently watched my Who's Encyclist video, you will already know the context for this myth, but if you haven't, here's a recap. A guy named Encyclist got into a car crash on his bike in Florida, because a car crashed into him, leaving him only to communicate through using Roblox messages in his games. I then found a player named Peter Ness, which helped me to do some stuff. I played some games, somehow got on his friend list. He helped me progress and got some questions. We found out he died at 36 years old, has no family except siblings, and like a mom or a dad, or like all of those, he has siblings basically. His full name being Harold God. I probably butchered that. I don't speak Danish. Okay, that's basically it. But after finishing the video, I asked him more questions like small talk mainly, stuff like favorite foods. But I asked him, do you have any friends you visit? Which he gave me a whole fucking list. Some person named Quonism, an artist named Entroversal, some person named Famitsu, a cave diver named Vaz, an alternate being named Alternation, and a pal named Taliviol. But the one that sticks out for me is the artist name Entroversal, which I'll be calling Entrov now. This guy seems cool and all, but he's not. Entrov is a 25-year-old male. Now, like I said, this guy is a painter, not your usual painter. This guy basically is the painter who makes those paintings in Mario 64. Put it in a way you would understand that. He basically can make entrances to his art paintings, which this is cool and all, but me and Pete figured out that it's not the best thing, or even that he's the best thing. While I and Pete had to go for a while, I was chilling in Entrov's game, and soon after that Entrov joins. While talking to Entrov, he tells me to, well, wait, that's it. One of the paintings wanted to talk to me, which, holy shit. Anyways, after the painting joins the game named, well, no, the painting is named Disfigured, or Disfigured. No idea if I said that right, but anywho, after he joins the game, he tells me to follow him to a portal named, well, guess what? Fucking Disfigured. Exact same name, basically, just put it in that. Now this game, it was something. It was like a puzzle game. Someone does the work for you. Anyways, while being in the game, this Figure 8 talks about some shit, and from now on, I'm calling him this figure. This figure just mainly did all the puzzles and let me name some of the statues, which was nice of him. I named one of them Evan and the other one Arthur, because Vanos Gaming and Arthur Morgan. Epic gaming reference, guys. Anywho, me and this figure just walked around pressing buttons, and let me remind you, I had no clue what I was going to do. Nobody even told me shit. Just follow this figure and hope for the best. So like 15 minutes in, I asked him, so what are we meant to do? And he explained we need to find the meaning of the in this painting. After like 8 minutes of just walking and pressing random shit, we actually did it. The lesson was, and I'm not kidding, learn to move on in the afterlife. Which I fucking knew was a reference to, guess who? My boy Encyclist. Anyways, near the end, this figure told me, oh yeah, I'm stuck here, I'm gonna die. See ya. And sent me back to Entrov. And Pete actually came back. After getting back to the museum, in the lobby or a part of Entrov, and yes, Entrov and the art gallery is a fucking part of him. So Entrov and the gallery are both the same beings. Anyways, I talked to Pete about the Encyclist and the list he gave me where he talked about a diner owned by this fella named Clonism. I'm just gonna call him Clonism. Now me and Pete wanted to of course go in there and investigate, since that's what we were meant to do. But Entroft kept talking about his favorite painting, which was named, well, Untitled Place. In this game there is not much, well there is a few things. One of them being text, and the text says, all I wanted was to be like other people, and Morse fucking code, which we couldn't translate. I even got 2 other folks who turns out one of them is a myth I'm gonna make a video on, who could just not translate it. So we just gave up and went out of there. Yes. All we got from it was something about the war. So before this near the start, me and Entrov talked about family and friends, and he mentioned he hated, well, Dolly. Why did he hate Dolly? No fucking clue, didn't tell me anyways. Then a little into the future, we are just vibing with Pete, and Entrov joined again, telling us to come with him. We went into a portal, and that portal had some things. But what's really important is 2 things. First of all, character model. The character model was Dolly. And the second important thing is quite fucked up. Anyway, after touching a bed in a house in the game, it flashed, you aren't innocent. We then went to a boat. Once we stepped on the boat, we got TP'd in the server. There was no like players. It was a 1-player slot thing. Now the weird thing is that the player model changed. It wasn't your custom character. Instead of a green shirt like Dolly has, it was blue. And it had some dialogue talking about shit like, oh, shut up. Now after this is what's really important in the end. Your character, the blue person, says, what are you doing with the axe? Stop! No, please! Now you might say to yourself, oh boo-hoo cowblob, so what, a fucking character died, who gives a shit? Well, after this game, he invited Tolly into the server saying Tolly wanted to speak with us. After he joined, we moved to a spot where we can sit somewhere, like sit all 3 of us, like me, Pete and Tolly. So we asked questions like, what do you think of Encyclist? Which he responded with, oh yeah, great guy, love the man, who doesn't? We also asked if he remembers how he got here, which he said, I don't know, I just blinked and it was here. But then we asked the biggest fucking question. Do you have any siblings? Now you might see where this is going. He explained that while on a boat with his brother, the brother went missing while going on an island. or traveling to an island, basically. So we did something that might have been a bad idea. We put Tolly in the game, like the one that ended up with somebody dying that looked like eerily similar to Tolly. Everything was fine until we touched the bed again. All that Tolly said after that was ... After we put him in the cutscene, he explains he did kill his younger brother. So yeah, the blue guy you play at the end is the younger brother of Tolly, which Tolly fucking kills. What the fuck? But after this figure, I don't know if we could trust Entrove, man. So we decided if Tolly says the truth and promises not to snitch on us, which he agreed on, so he confirmed he killed his younger brother. Not much of an interview, just asked him some basic questions. What's your favorite food? Which he answered, and his favorite food is brown chicken paint. We also got his age and name from this, but I fucking forgot his name because they didn't record it. I only remember he's 25. Anyways, during this he also explains the blue paint. The blue paint basically makes anybody he draws automatically when he makes the thing real and he draws it with the blue paint, they forget everything. So it's basically just paintable dementia. Yeah, that's cool. That's useful, I guess. He does not use it for everyone. For example, our boy Encyclist. He also explained no one is really real. Encyclist is not real. Tallinn is not real. After this, he finally lets us in the fucking diner. Joining the diner slash bar, Entrove told us to dress nicely, which we did. After that, I decided to restart my PC due to having really bad lag issues. Anyways, after I came back, we chatted about the diner, being nice and all. I decided to ask Pete to distract Entrove, and while Entrove was distracted, I snuck upstairs. Upstairs there was 3 doors, the first one leading to a place with 2 beds and a chair. Other one leading to like a hiring place. You have a table, 3 chairs. You know, like when you get hired for a job. Yeah, that thing. The third one is a locked door. Anyways, we went to sleep in the diner. You might be asking yourself, no way you're leaving this on a cliffhanger. And to respond to that, oh yes I am. But now it's time to recap the entire story so far. You have a guy named Encyclist. This guy is from Denmark that was riding his bike, and then a car crashed into him, killing him instantly, with no one trying to help him. After that, God gave him the ability to communicate with alive people through his Roblox games, as can be seen throughout his games. Cyclist died in 2023 at the young age of 36, his full name being Harold Tex God. I also found a new friend named Pete Ness. I'm just gonna call him Pete Ness, who is helping me out after asking Cyclist if he has any other friends. He gave me a list. The first we tried was Entrove, who added me, and I found out he has no family. Can't remember his name anymore right now because I'm fucking stupid, and is 25 years old. After Pete joined us, he showed us some paintings and stuff, and soon after that we entered one where there was a Morse code message. After that I had to talk to someone named this figure who was meant to help with uncovering the truth behind the painting. After all of that, we found out that there's this blue paint that can make anyone forget who they are and how they got in the gallery, and if they're real or even in the gallery. So then Entrov talked about a diner, which after that he told us we can go visit the same day, only that we had to dress nicely. And he also told us we can meet the owner with Cyclist the next day, which is technically today for me. And that's it. That's the story. That's the entire story of Entrov and our boy Cyclist for now. I'm gonna upload a different video about the sleeping in the diner and more stuff about Cyclist. So, thank you for watching. Goodbye.